Hello everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Wilderness Free-to-Play Ultimate Ironman series. Right off the bat, we're getting a duo level up of 28 attack and 28 hit points. I've been training on zombies for quite a while, and the goal is basically to just get 30 attack, and then we'll start training defense after that. Zombies are just so easy to train on. Like, they do so little damage to you, so the food requirements are really low. They're just nice all in all. Now, here we hit 30 attacks, so that's pretty much all the attack training I need to do for now. I can't even really wield an adamant weapon right now because I don't have access to adamant weapons. I have to make one. So it's going to be a while before I can actually use that attack level for equipping a weapon, but the accuracy bonus is quite nice. So now we're going to be focusing on training defense to try and get it to level 30, because we can actually equip adamant plate legs, which come from greater demons. So that'll be really nice to get some of those, because we can actually use that, and it's quite a hefty piece of armor. We can also already equip the Mithril Kite Shield, which also comes from Greater Demons, so we'll make good use of that. But once I hit 30 defense, I'll probably switch back to attack and strength training, just because it makes training a lot faster if you have attack and strength levels, because you're more accurate and you hit harder. So I just did a little bit of skeleton killing here with melee. It's definitely gotten a lot easier with the higher stats, so much easier, and the Myth Sword is really what makes the training somewhat viable at these guys. So my goal for this day was to get a singular bronze bar drop from skeletons, because I've been killing these guys for a long time up to this point. I think I'd probably gotten 40 to 50 kills like overall, and that's got to be close to the drop rate of a bronze bar, but I hadn't gotten one yet. So I really wanted to start doing some smithing training, because that's very important. If I get mining up, I can train it by itself, but it's kind of a lame skill to train by itself. If I'm wasting those ores by dropping them, there's not really a point to training mining. I'd like to mine the iron ore and then smelt it directly into bars, but of course I need to level up smithing alongside mining to make that work. So I have tried a new tactic to stay at the skeletons longer, which is killing the bears just north of them. They are kind of high level, but they drop bear meat on every kill, so that's kind of nice. But it was a bit impractical, I found out, because they just have too much health and they hit pretty hard. So you'd end up taking a little bit more damage than you get worth of food back, basically. So it wasn't worth it. Maybe at some point it will be. And I think they're pretty good training, enemies, because they have a lot of health. And if you can get high enough defense, I think it might be worth it. Now it's time to do some rune collecting, because I had this brilliant plan of, if I can get an Earth Strike casts, then I can safe spot the skeletons while killing them. And it'll train magic, and it'll kill them faster than it would normally, and it requires no food. So I was like, wait, this is brilliant, because I can just safe spot them behind the little tree stumps. So I wanted to collect about 200 casts worth of Earth Strike. We also got a defense level here, which gave me a combat level of 34, so we're really ranking up fast. Defense training is pretty fast once you have the... if you train attack and strength first, it flies by a lot faster than training attack and strength in the first place, because you have that extra DPS. But yeah, so the basic plan here was to stay for about an hour, because that's about what it takes to get 200 casts worth. You get about 100 runes per half hour, so I need about 200 airs and 200 mind runes, so it's about 1 hour time. We also got 17 prayer, so just from bearing the bone of the guy that we killed here. I would like to focus on prayer training at some point. The thing is, I just can't really go to the boneyard to train yet, which is the best location. I can't remember what the XP is an hour. It's very low, compared to like pay-to-play training, but it's the best XP an hour in free-to-play for Ironman. The problem is, I just need to be a lot tankier before I can actually go there. The thing is, it's loaded with skeletons. The same level skeletons that I kill in like the mine area for bronze bars, but I just have to sit there and tank them constantly, and you don't really lose aggro either, so I don't know how long I could last there. I'd like to at least have access to pizzas for food, and I'd like to have maybe Addy Legs or a Myth Kite, just so I can be a little bit tankier defense-wise. If I get that, then I'd like to go there and train till 37, because at 37 I can use Protect from Magic, and I can go kill Dark Wizards indefinitely at that point, and then I could just train to 43 at Dark Wizards and get an insane amount of runes. So I think that's going to be the plan. If you don't know, there's actually like a little mine It's actually a big mine south of the Dark Warriors Fortress. It's all coal, and there are like a couple dozen skeletons there. And I thought I'd give it a shot at killing one of the ones here. The problem with these is that there's just too many skeletons, and there's only, a few with round shields, so you have to go through and pick these out. And if the wrong type of skeleton aggroes you, then you kind of waste your time trying to de-aggro it or kill it, because it's not going to drop anything worthwhile. Alright guys, prepare yourselves for a lot of magic training. We're going to be getting over 10 levels back to back just training here on these skeletons. And if I didn't explain earlier why I'm using Earth Strike, it's because it's the most cost-effective spell that I can cast. It basically only costs 1 air and 1 mine rune to use for me, and it hits 6s. So it's really quite good for magic training. If I were to upgrade and use Fire Strike, it actually would cost me 2 airs, and it also costs me fire runes as well because I don't have a staff for that. So this is literally like the best spell I can use forever. Like cost-wise, this is it. And plus, when you're killing skeletons, you're shredding them with this because they're weak to magic. And I killed this skeleton right here with 4 hits, which is just unheard of for my account. And plus, look what we get as the drop. A bronze bar. Oh my gosh. The first one that we got on this account outside of Tutorial Island. That's amazing. It's actually pretty funny because I like price check it afterward like it's some kind of rare boss drop or something. I guess it was just instinct, but I just find that funny that I did that. But yeah, I'm super excited about that because we can actually start doing some smithing training. That right there is worth 12.5 smithing XP. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. We actually got an uncut emerald right after that, back-to-back drops. Sadly, I can't really use emeralds or any gems for a long time. I don't think I'll ever be able to use them. So the best thing I can do is just sell them to the bandit camp store. Right here we get 15 magic, which allows us to cast Bones to Bananas. It doesn't seem like a very useful spell outside the mage training arena, but on this account, it's actually not too bad. Sadly, bananas only heal 2 each, but to get a little bit extra sustain is kind of nice, because normally I'd have to go all the way to rats, kill them, get the rat meat, and then cook it. But if I just use Bones to Bananas, I can just stay here and just convert the bones that I get to bananas and get some food. So it's not the best food source, but it's pretty decent. I also get the magic level for wind bolts, which is kind of nice. My first bolt spell, it hits pretty hard. It does hit 9s, so might use that in the future. Probably not. I'll probably just save my chaos runes for Crumble Undead, because that is a ridiculously powerful spell for how much it costs. And here's me using Bones to Bananas for the first time. It's not a bad spell. It's a good use of nature runes, I think, because I can't normally use them, and until I get like alchemy spells or superheat item, so I might as well make use of them now. We got a few milestone levels here. 30 hit points followed by 20 magic, and that also gives us 35 combat, so we're ranking up pretty quickly. I honestly couldn't believe that that inventory of runes gave me 11 magic levels. We went from 9 to 20 with just a few runes to spare. This is basically where I have to end the magic training for now, at least with the combat spells, because I'm just out of runes. It lasted a good while, but it's kind of sad that I spent an hour collecting runes and it only took me like 15 minutes to use them all. So, but that's just kind of how magic works. That's at least how it works on this account playstyle. I know that's not really realistic for every account though. And I wanted to trek halfway across the wilderness to get to the anvil, the one anvil in the wilderness, to smith our first item that we've ever made in the wilderness. It's quite exciting. Only about 180 more bars worth of smithing to go until we're level 15. That's not discouraging. I'm hoping at some point we can have better methods of killing those skeletons so we get a lot more bars. Speaking of better methods, I wanted to try and kill a Chaos Dwarf because they drop a shield and helmet upgrade for me, and that would make killing skeletons a lot better food-wise for me, so that's technically a better method. Sadly, the Chaos Dwarves are just way too tanky, and they hit way too hard. I think they hit 6s, and they hit almost every time as well, so that's not practical unless I bring magic or protection prayers to fight them. So we'll have to come back at a different time to try and fight these guys again. Alright, 25 defense. 5 levels to go until we swap back to attack and strength training. Okay guys, it's that time of the episode again where I'd like to talk about a specific skill, or activity in general, using a picture to kind of help me explain some stuff. So we're going to talk about magic today and some of the useful spells for my account. Now, obviously, combat spells are probably the most useful. You know, you have your Earth Strike. That's the most cost-effective one. We have Crumble Undead, which is probably the most useful high damage spell I'm going to have, especially for killing skeletons, because, you know, skeletons are undead, so it works out really well because I can use my Chaos Runes and hit them extremely hard with the Crumble Undead spell. Then we have some of the curse spells, and you've seen me use these before for training, and that's pretty much all they're good for. I mean, I could use them on like high-level monsters to try and weaken them, you know, weaken their defense or make them hit less, but it's not really that practical. I'm just going to be using those for training. There's also enchantment spells, but I will never be able to use those, so I'm not really going to talk much about them. There's no way I can craft any of the stuff that I can enchant, so it's useless. We also have teleports. And the only one I'll probably end up using is Varrock Teleport, because it's kind of going to be my quick escape. You know, if I get PK'd below level 20 Wilderness, I can teleport out, and that could save my life. Now, granted, if I'm deeper than 20 Wilderness, I have to get down to at least that level, because you can't teleport past level 20 Wilderness, so that's quite dangerous. But technically, it's still with my rules, because I'm only gaining XP in the Wilderness when I teleport. And once I get teleported to Varrock, I'm not gaining any experience. So I can just walk back to the Wilderness Ditch. So it's a good escape method. I don't plan on using it often, but it is a decent method. I could possibly teleport to Falador as well. It could be like a fast method to get to the west side of the Wilderness, you know, as compared to like the east side. You know, if I'm all the way on the east side, it could be faster to walk from Falador to the Wilderness Ditch than all the way across. But we'll have to kind of do some testing there. And of course, there's also some like utility spells like Bones to Bananas, and the alchemy spells, and superheat item. I plan on using all of those. I've already used Bones to Bananas a little bit just for food, but the alchemy spells are going to be quite nice for getting some money, you know, on the go, and using some nats for money making and training. And superheat item is going to be really good when I get the right smithing level, because I can immediately bring iron ore to the anvil. You know, I can superheat it there, turn into iron bars, and then smith it on the anvil. That's going to be phenomenal. So I'm probably going to be saving a lot of my nature runes once I hit 15 mining and smithing, because that's going to be probably the best method for me for smithing training, time-wise. Lastly, we have magic gear, and I actually have best in slot for everything except the rope top. That one I need to get from Dark Wizards, and it gives a small magic boost, but it is something. We have everything else, which is the staff and the hats. There's not really anything else I can get for magic gear, sadly. But it's nice that I have 2 out of the 3 pieces done. It's been a while since I've showed you guys a cooking level, and rightfully so, because I haven't gotten one since last episode. But here is 28 cooking, so only 7 more levels until we can start cooking pizzas. That's going to change my account. It's going to be so great after that. No more rat meat baits diet, please. Alright guys, that's going to end the episode for today. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Exciting announcement. This is the last episode that's going to be entirely composed of old footage. So I've been going through old footage of playtime from about a year ago, and I actually only have like maybe 5 minutes left of footage to add for the next episode. So you'll be getting brand new stuff after that episode. And also, I'll probably be taking a small break for Christmas. I'm not sure how much time I can actually devote to doing like voiceovers for my videos. So there may be like an extra 1 or 2 weeks in there for break. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm going to try and be as good as I can for putting my videos out on schedule. But just understand if there is like a small break in there that there's not much I can do about that, just because of the amount of time that I have to actually do voiceovers. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it, and see you guys later. Thanks.